Hey, what's up, guys? Uh, I don't really have capture technology, but anyway. Yeah, I looked at the debate, and it was insane. um, it was all over the place. Candace got real personal, stuff like that. That's what, I don't know, women do that. Um, uh, Conservatives try not to do that, try not to get personal. Um, they try not to um, attack certain things, but religious people do. So I looked at the debate, and that thing was long, and I noticed a couple of things that would make her probably a conservative. All right, let's look at this jank. She's because like Blair said that it took her like a couple of years, and then over here Candace, she was like it only took 18 months. I was like, yeah, you don't change that fast. I'm like, even in okay, that was like a year and a little bit, but nah, you don't change your views and how you deal with emotions and how you deal with your personal issues and how you deal with other things that fast. And I also noticed that yeah, she hasn't been on the internet that long. She hasn't been around enough people yet, so she doesn't know how to really deal with different types of people. And here it goes. Let's see. Okay, the first thing she says was weird.
And why you did it and sort of where it's at the moment, and then we'll go from there.
Right. So I just want to start off because we just had a conversation off camera. She posted something that said my predictions that I talked about. I'm not comfortable using the she pronoun.
See, like that right there. Like the reason why she did that was like only people that would do that would be Ben Shapiro. Only he would do that. Only he would say, "I ain't gonna use your pronouns" or something. But she said the reason why she said it was, well, the conservatives don't know you're not a woman. So, I mean, I'm not like if I have respect for you, I'll call you like a he or a she or whatever. But anybody else, I'm not calling you nothing. Like I'm calling you whatever I want to call you. But I think because she just doesn't like her, she did that. So she did that to jab at you. I've seen Fallen State, forgot the dude's name. He does that. He gets real personal real fast. And he's like, well, where'd that come from? So I don't really know. Is she conservative, liberal, or she's just, this is how women act. This is how women argue. Um, they get real personal and they do stuff like that. Women can't fight you because Candace knows that Blair is not a man. It is a man. So don't usually the only way women can actually fight is they have to fight with words. This is how women fight. They can't fight physically. They can't physically beat a man up, but they can physically. They can mentally fight him. So even though Blair's looks like a woman, sort of, um, she's still a man. So she can't physically fight him. So, but she can mentally fight him. So she went to the thing that she know that will hurt him, like the right hook. She knew the thing that was gonna hurt him mentally was you're not actually a woman. So that's what women do. They go personal and they go emotional. They can't. That's the way they fight men. They fight them mentally. They don't fight them physically. That's why, like, when you're arguing with a feminist, she'll say all day like how she's not a sexist, you're a sexist, and then you start expressing your emotions. You be like, oh, don't act like a woman. You know, why are you being such a woman? Why are you being so emotional? What's wrong with you? So in a second, a woman will start attacking your masculinity. I'm like, where'd that come from? And you be thinking it's nature or something.
Not because it's not anything to be disrespectful, it's just that a lot of people that follow me don't know that Blair is trans, and a lot of people that follow her maybe don't know me, vice versa, and I think that it betrays the audience when you make it sound like this is a petty cat fight and there are two girls sitting across from a table, when in fact it is a grown man sitting across from a grown woman who has had a lot of things to say about me when I've never even met you or said negative comment about you. So I just want that to be very clear. Happy to, for the rest
Super
of this,
clear.
yeah, it should be
Super
known.
clear.
We're both adults, you know, you're a grown man.
No, we're definitely adults. I just think it's interesting how you act like you're above the ad hominems and you're above attacking someone, when in reality, you and I both know that the situation is you're using those pronouns and you're saying what you're saying, calling me a grown man.
That's not an attack, that's a fact.
Let me finish that. You're doing that in a way to be passive aggressive and petty, but in a way that your audience doesn't actually read, because you do have the very hardcore conservative audience, and so they're not really going to read it as petty. Everyone else will.
No, I don't want them to think that this is a cat fight between two girls. It's not. I'm saying that you are. No, it's very important because
it really isn't though. But we can.
Okay, like that whole cat fight thing. That was interesting. She wasn't. Somebody called it a cat fight. Any other feminist would have been offended by that. Cat fight, man, that's sexist. But she didn't think it was sexist. So I don't know, maybe, because I was thinking of three things, like, is she conservative, or is she capitalist, is she liberal, or, I mean, or is she religious? But I was like, she can't be ultra religious, because she, you know, she said a couple cuss words, so, I mean, but religious people cuss too, but, so I don't know, maybe, because, like I said, there are different types of conservatives, not all of them are religious, but they're really like aggressive with things. But so I don't know. Can she really be a liberal or a feminist or like if she wasn't offended by the whole cat fight? And then she said, "Well, it's not really a cat fight because you're really not a woman." So initially, you know, I would say that she would be offended just by the whole cat fight thing. If you would have talked to a feminist and they were talking, there were two women talking, and somebody said, "We're in a cat fight," and the feminist would automatically say, "Whoa, that was sexist," but she didn't have a problem with the word cat fight. I don't know. Maybe she's not a liberal. I don't know. She's all over the place, man. She's a chameleon. I don't know what she is.
We can move on because it really isn't about how she dresses.
me and
I
biology
don't care
think you're a
about
man. I'm happy to call you
That's
she for the
totally
rest so that we can move on from the pronoun thing and answer your question.
I would say, look,
but you have
look.
to start by calling me man. Okay. That
But I want to make it clear because I don't
sense.
want to have to afterwards say, if you are, this is your stance on trans, why did you sit across from a trans person and call them she? So I'm making it clear because as we know, you guys like to dig up every single thing that I do in every single
How I dug
mannerism.
up everything you've done. Out of everyone?
Yeah, that girl is smart. But like I said, she's still arguing like a woman. That's okay. Because you need women to check you sometimes. But you know, because Candace knows that. See, we can call Blair a woman all day, but Blair still has a man's mind. She can somehow think she's a woman or whatever, but she still has a man's mind. So she still, people's like, man, I love Blair, man. She can argue like a man. Like she can argue really well, meaning she argues like a man. It's all logical. And women don't argue like that. They argue with an emotion. They get personal real fast. You know, everything is personal. Your questions are all personal, and man don't like personal. He wants to argue the facts. He ain't trying to argue about me. I want to argue about the world. You know, so she knew the one thing that was gonna hurt her the most was to get personal. To say, you know what, you're not really a woman. And as a man, yeah, you were like, hey, what you doing, man? It's got nothing to do with it. So she used the one thing she knew would hurt her. Because like the one thing would hurt a man is calling him gay, or, you know, calling him a punk, you know, calling him weak, say he's too emotional, you know, saying all that stuff would definitely hurt a person. So she was smart and crazy enough to do it.
Candace, there's been a lot of YouTubers that have come out against you, so I actually have a question before we go. Out of all the YouTubers who have dug stuff up about you, I never made a video. I'm a YouTuber. If I don't think,
But yeah, she wanted to take that in and was like be offended, whatever, get all hyped up. But she kind of brushed that off, so that's pretty good. She brushed that off and like whatever, and then she went. It was kind of weird because she was acting like the woman supposedly, and she was calm, and Candace was like, I don't know, man. She thought she was like on The View or something. And yeah, it was crazy. I don't know what to say because it was all over the place. But Blair tried to control it, stuff like that. But she was kind of calm. But Dave Rubin, I don't know, man. He's like, whoa, I didn't know these people were that crazy. I didn't know she was like that. Whoa. So her real, I guess you say Candace's real personality came out. Blair's real personality came out. Well, sort of. I mean, Blair was not going to go too full crazy on Dave Rubin. She was smart enough to be like, okay, I ain't not going to go too crazy on here. But Candace was like, forget that. I don't like this person, and I don't like her audience either. So I'm gonna get real personal.
You jumped on a video.
I jumped on a
It was
video,
a 4-hour stream.
which I was on for probably 15 minutes.
An hour and 15 minutes.
I was on a stream for an hour and 15
You were
minutes.
on for an hour and 15 minutes until Barbara came on the stream. I watched
I
it
was not on for an
and
hour and 15
All right,
minutes.
so let's do this. Let's just to clean this up, so we don't. I just don't want to get too lost in the weeds of every little word. I think. Look, you guys know my feelings about free speech.
Right.
I'm not going to tell you what to say,
Right.
how to refer to Blair, and Blair can obviously defend herself. We can do all that, but just so we don't get too lost in that stuff, let's just try to stick to the original
Right.
story here. I think it's fine that you premised it that way. You defended yourself. I think that's totally fine. But we could end up in the back part of this forever.
Correct.
So let's just get to.
Okay, I noticed. Candace was acting like Dave Rubin was her boyfriend or something. It was like Candace would always look to Dave Rubin as like some type of validation. She was only on his side. She was loving it that Dave Rubin was being soft with her. He was kind of like the protector. You know, he was protecting my emotions. He was allowing me to be emotional like that. And then he'll come in and basically try to calm it down, whatever. So, conservative women are usually really respectful of men and authority figures. So, the way she treated Dave Rubin, I don't know, maybe she was treating him that way because Dave was letting her off the hook a couple times. But I don't know. But it might be because she might be conservative. Because in a feminist woman, if a man was sitting right there, I'm talking about like ultra feminists, they would have said all kinds of crazy stuff to the man that was sitting there. But a conservative was like, he had way more respect for Dave Rubin because he's still a man. So I just noticed that how he was treating Dave Rubin. And a lot of women are like that. Like they don't like the final word from a woman. They want to hear the final word from a man. So they're kind of, I don't know, that could be sexism. Like they don't, if a woman says something, they don't think it's the truth. But if a man says it, it must be the truth. So conservative women are kind of like that. They listen to the man. They think the man is probably telling the truth. Is most likely telling the truth. And I know, and I feel pretty good because the man is here because I know he's gonna protect me. So that's probably what's going on right there too, is because the man is there, because a man is here, I feel like I'm gonna be protected. That nothing's gonna happen. So she could be a conservative woman as like that regard. That she knows the man's role. The man's role is to protect and to let the women say what they need to say. So protecting her emotions and physically. So that's how she was able to just go off the rails like that, because the man was there. I don't think she would do all this if it was just them two sitting in a room. I don't think she would do all that. But because a man is there, all of a sudden she's like, you know, she can do. It's kind of like, yeah, like when women like are fighting and there's men around, they go crazy. They pull at each other's hair like that, and they push each other, and then eventually, well, not in the black community when black women fight, but in most communities, when a women are fighting, eventually some man is gonna break it up. Some man is gonna grab one of them, and it's like, okay, that's enough, and it'll be over. You ain't gotta worry about it. It wouldn't go to the next level. But it's like I said, black communities where there's black women fighting, there's no real men in the picture usually. So there's no one gonna, stop the fight and be like, okay, time to go. That's it. So yeah, in that regard, I don't know, maybe she is kind of conservative. That she thought she was gonna freely say whatever she wanted to say, and then if it got to blows, or I don't know, maybe she's thinking in her mind that it would, but it's okay because this man is right here. He would stop it.
How did this whole thing start?
Okay, so the backstory to the backstory. Obviously, you know about social autopsy, but there's a very relevant part of this, which is essentially that when I was in high school, I had an experience that happened to me, and it's something that I like to talk about factually, and I hate talking about it because it involves other people, and I'm out here talking about my opinions, my beliefs. When you're involving other people, I think it's a little unfair. When I was a junior in high school, I received one night I was sitting on a couch with my boyfriend, and I received anonymous phone calls. And at the end of watching Talladega Nights with my boyfriend, I picked up the phone, I listened to the voicemails, and they were 4 boys that were screaming back and forth, calling me a dirty nigger, saying we're gonna target your family, saying...
Yeah, I don't know about that one. Maybe that happened, maybe it didn't. I don't know. It's like when people tell these stories, you be like, that sounds like something out of a movie or something. That might not be real. But it happened to you. But I don't know. You said it happened. I don't know if it happened. Maybe it did. I don't know. But yeah, she definitely doesn't. So just from this, she was like, okay, I gotta make sure I don't ruin people's lives. So I'm gonna create this website. I think she said that the reason why she created a website was not to ruin kids' lives to an extreme degree, but give them like, okay, you said that, okay, well, you can't play football, or you gotta quit, like, you're suspended from playing in the band or something like that, or you gotta sit in timeout or something. That's what she was saying. But she didn't, somehow a person that was in the industry didn't know that once you give people these tools, they was gonna do whatever they want with it. It doesn't matter what you want with it. You was gonna do with it what people was gonna do. I mean, even if you gave it to schools, people, you really trust schools that much? You give it to prisons or something? You really trust them that much? I mean, all the crazy stuff that's happening in schools now. You think you can trust authority figures with this information? I mean, grown people be doxing people. Grown people be showing up at people's jobs and homes and and want to hurt them or something. So I don't know how you somehow thought that just because you gave it to the school or something, you thought if I gave it to a school or a college, they would do right. Man, it's like, have you been on college? Have you been in the schools? They be having all kinds of insane stuff in schools now. it's liberal city up in there in these schools. I got out right at a good time before it got crazy. But it's really messed up in school now. You think you can trust these grown people? Grown people acting like kids now. They get real personal on you now. So I don't know. Even if you gave it to the schools, it wouldn't have worked out because schools is all messed up now. You know, grown people are doing some of the same stuff. Authority figures too. You know, authority figures. I mean, before you would trust these people, but now you can't trust none of these people. Teachers, oh man. I mean, teachers are the ultimate like SJWs now, man. So you don't think they're gonna find a kid in their class that's a Trump supporter or like anti-feminist or something, anti-SW, and want to ruin his life? And yeah, so find out where the kid lives. If you find out where the kid lives, you know where the parents live. So yeah, it ain't gonna work out. Even with authority figures, even with if you just put it in a school, it ain't gonna work out. So yeah.
People blocked.
So that doesn't really make sense.
No, I'm just saying I'm glad that we're actually having a conversation because prior to this, the reason why it's actually gone to the point where I have to do on the room report rather than just a quick exchange on Twitter or you making a video on your own channel is because you blocked conversations.
So I just want to be clear, you're allowed to tweet out your trash and I am supposed to then defend myself rather than you coming to me first for answers.
You're absolutely not supposed to defend yourself. You don't have to do anything.
Right.
So
you're insulted that I blocked you after you insulted me publicly to what do you have 130,000? Does that even make sense to you like saying that right now?
Candace, you have it.
Okay, yeah, another point. What she just said right there, does that make sense for you to do that? She sees it as a career. She doesn't see it as it's just YouTube. It's not a big deal. She thinks it's a career, like that's what something you would say to like a celebrity or something. Hey, you went out there, you got drunk, you did all this. You think that was smart? You know, that's gonna tarnish your business, it's gonna tarnish your brand. So yeah, that was like a what a capitalist would have said. A person that, you know, really just about them, you know, making money or whatever. Pro money, you know. So that was a career kind of question. Like, you know, yeah, I don't know. Yes, she sees it as like it's like a job, like any other job. And you know, and Blair I guess she sees Blair as like some type of brand. Like that's gonna tarnish your brand. Like, no, that's not how YouTube works. Like all the stuff, all the income, the negative and the positive can boost somebody's career. I mean, think about Jake Paul, right? You got people who love him, mostly little kids that don't know what's going on. They have no idea to comprehend that guy's crazy. And then you have the haters, man. So he get millions of views from people who like him, and millions of views for people who hate him. And a company will be like, wait, you got all these people that hate you. Isn't that gonna tarnish your brand or tarnish? Say, nah, man, I make up more money. Like, even though people hate me, they're viewing me to hate me. So I made money just by them viewing me. So they can unsubscribe and they can dislike a video all they want, but they still watch the video. So I'm still getting views. So it doesn't matter if they hate me or not. And it's boosting my ego. People hate me. What boosts people's ego the most is hate. Actually, it means that you're important. You're important enough to want to harm. So that's really boosting people's ego. But Candace doesn't understand that. She's like a business mind. She's like, hey, well, you're doing all this crazy stuff. Isn't that gonna tarnish your brand? Why are you doing it? But Blair's like, this is YouTube, man. I get more views when I get, you know, I be all dramatic and stuff, and I saw dramas and stuff. But Candace sees it as like, now, okay, here, okay, you're not supposed to be doing drama. Drama should be somewhere else. You know, that should be outside of YouTube. I was like, that's all of YouTube. What are you talking about? So I think she just didn't understand the internet and understand cultures and nothing like that. She wasn't around enough regular people. So I don't know. I mean, conservatives are like that. I've seen conservative towns. They're a whole lot different from regular towns. They shut down at 9 o'clock. They're really religious. You know, they're really nice people though, but they're not around enough regular people. That's probably why they're so nice, because they don't know who you are when they see you. But yeah, they usually live way out in the middle of nowhere, and they don't understand other people's cultures. They don't understand none of this. So I don't know. Maybe she is conservative the way she's talking.
Every right to block me. There's no, you can not respond, you can respond, you can block me, whatever it is. What I'm saying is, people are criticizing the way that you've handled the situation. You have the backstory, which I will absolutely let you finish, but the way you're dealing with people calling out the story and calling out things that they think maybe are fraudulent, maybe they're not fraudulent, maybe you can clear that up, is you haven't actually cleared it up. You've blocked everyone. People can attest to that, everyone. Andy Worski, Bunty King, Dave Cullen, who actually provided screenshots of things he said to you. So unlike me, I can see you blocking me for calling you trash. And honestly, I'll say I'm sorry for calling you trash. That's totally fine. But as far as him, he sent like 4 or 5 very respectful tweets, just asking for questions, asking for your side of the story. So if he made a video, he
I would just like to, chronologically speaking, they made the videos and then asked questions. I don't do that. I don't negotiate with terrorists. You don't get to make a video about me lying.
Oh my god. When she did that, I was like, what? That's when I was like, it's like it flip-flops so much. You don't know what she's gonna say. And like, she goes from looks kind of sounding kind of like she did the whole Ben Shapiro trans thing. How Ben Shapiro says, I ain't calling you no man, I ain't calling you no woman. The whole Ben Shapiro, that's what Ben Shapiro would do, but he wouldn't do that like in the beginning. He would only do it in context. He won't just say that. You ask him a question, then he'll go into it. But he wouldn't right off the bat, just bam, just start talking about, I ain't gonna call you this. You know, if you're a trans dolphin, I'm not doing that. I'm not calling you no dolphin. You know, but he wouldn't right off the bat say that. But anyway, so then she flip flops and says, I don't negotiate with terrorists. Even though she said, oh, it's a joke, I don't know, man. I don't think so. She probably does think they're terrorists or something. Like they're terrorizing her. Because she can't tell between internet and reality. That's people would say you need to take one off the internet because they can't differentiate between it. That's when they said that they were saying that the stats was actually more than 50% of the online bullying is coming from women. So women are going on the internet, seeing the internet as reality, and like I said, women can't fight physically, so they go to mentally. So women are saying some crazy stuff too. So probably in the Gamergate thing with the threats and whatnot, most of them probably were women. We don't even know. They were anonymous. Most of that stuff was coming from women because they knew a lot of the stuff was insane stuff anyway. So only people that would be saying that is either women or kids or something. Some broken people out there. There's women that won't act like that at all, but there's a bunch of women that will and have no problem saying it. So she can't differentiate from the internet and reality. That's telling.
Okay, and then saying, now you better come to me and answer me. Who does that? That's the opposite way of handling anything.
Hold on.
It's an expression. I don't negotiate with terrorists. Don't take it to heart. It's an expression.
I'm not taking it to heart. It's just kind of silly.
All right,
it's an expression.
Hold on. We got to get the full story because otherwise there's going to be enough people watching this that still aren't clear on the full story.
Right.
That if we go too far into the follow-up, we're going to get lost here. By the way, I just really quick want to mention that when you texted me and said, I want to do this on your show and I'd like to do it with Blair, I thought about it for a minute because I wasn't even sure if I wanted to get involved in this. I think that this Twitter, YouTube drama, I think causes, it's partly, we're all here because of just this drama machine that just endlessly drags everybody. But to both of your credit, you asked me to do it, and I texted you, and literally within 30 seconds you said you would do it. And that's people should know that, because we live in a time when no one backs themselves up. They hide and say all this crap. So I just want to put that out there. But let's just get through the story, and then we can do the rest.
Long story short, this was categorized as a hate crime. The FBI was involved. I was out of school for about, went on to have like DUIs. He was like a closeted
And unless I'm understanding, we have to do a little something here with Devin.
So she took one incident, I had to get good stuff along, and was like, yeah, I'm gonna create this website because of this one incident. I don't know, man. Did she somehow think this wouldn't be big? Maybe that's what it was. Maybe she thought that it wouldn't be, not a lot of people would know about it. But they know about it now. I don't get it. But a lot of people knew about it though. How did anybody know about this thing? Because I'm really confused about Candace too, because I didn't know about her past. So I didn't know about the stuff she did before. That's the problem with these people. You don't know where these people are coming from. Like Milo, you see him on TV, you saw past stuff, you saw his past SJW-ness. So the problem with the internet is that when people come along, you don't know who they are. You don't know where they came from. They could be actors, they could be in the industry, but they didn't make it in the industry, and now they're on YouTube. So you don't really know who these people are. I mean, because they come out of nowhere. Like this could be like failed TV stars or something, or failed actresses or failed models. We don't know who they are. So she just pops up out of nowhere, has this social autopsy thing, but nobody even knew about that when they were looking at her before. When everybody knows about her videos, I didn't know she disappeared for a year. I didn't know that. Whoa, I was like, and she did this TED talk with nobody in the audience. So I mean, this lady's weird. I don't know what's going on. She might be a conservative. She might be just a capitalist. She might be a liberal. She might be just crazy. I don't know what she is. She's all over the place.
Definitions of words, because what you're describing there doesn't sound to me like a doxing. A doxing website would be on publicly.
But she is. I think she is smart though. She knows how to manipulate people, and she knows how to trick people. But maybe in her mind, she thinks she did nothing wrong. She thinks that, man, if people love me, if some people still like me, there might be nothing wrong with me then.
I'm using this site to release information about people. But you're saying basically this was going to be an archive home for schools to look at this information and sift through it. Okay.
So I think calling it an archive.
I don't know, schools? Like I said, you can't even trust schools. So, but if it's just for schools, then how does everybody have access to this site? She didn't know the power of people. She thought that only schools would have access to it and nobody else. But why is it open to us though? I know it's probably somehow you can make it where it would be like an app that you would only have in schools, but you can't see it nowhere else. I'm pretty sure that schools have that, where they have stuff that only they have access to and nobody else does. But if schools have access to it, it should only be for the schools. Why do we have access to it? It should be only for the schools or the prisons or whatever you're going. Oh man. Well, the prison thing is gonna be messed up. If they give it to the prisons, if prisoners were be allowed to look people up, because a whole lot of crazy that's going on in jail already. If prison guards are allowed to find out where inmates live and inmates they used to live, where their family lives, or their kids live. Oh man, that's gonna be reckless too. I don't know, man. This site is too crazy for anybody. If you give it to kids, it's gonna be messed up. If you give it to schools and colleges, it's gonna be messed up. It don't matter who you give this technology to, it's gonna be messed up, man. You can find out where people live and stuff. Like I said, a lot of this information is on the Facebook. So I guess if you're dumb enough to put all your information on Facebook, that's pretty messed up. But no, it's basically like, if you want to know everything about a person, all in one place, you ain't gotta look for it or nothing. You can go to social autopsy and it has all their information. That's why it's messed up. It's not messed up because people say, well, she was saying that, oh no, you can see this stuff on Facebook and Twitter. No. You have to do like extensive searches to find all this stuff. To look through everything about the person, all his photos and everything. Try to figure out where he lives, his address and everything. You have to look through all that. But on here, you know, it like I said, I don't think it's Facebook shows your address. It shows where you work. And if you want to really hurt a person, show up at their job. you know, you don't got to show up at their house. They'll probably just call the cops on you. But you know, you show up at somebody's job, man. That's different. It's kind of hard to call the cops on that one, but so giving anybody access to this stuff is not good, because what it is, like I said, what it is it's basically going to make it easier to find out a lot of information about one person really fast. So the leftists can use it to dox Republicans and whoever they hate, and then the right could use it too. So the left didn't want to. The left didn't defend her either, because they was like, wait a sec, I'm in Antifa. I don't want to get doxxed. Well, hold up. It's gonna make it easier for them to think about it. If the bike lock, dude, if they had social autopsy, they wouldn't took them no 2 or 3 days or a week to find out where bike lock dude lived or worked at or taught at. It wouldn't have took him. He can just go right on there and bam, all his information, and in a day he could find out. We could find out where he worked at. It wouldn't have took no week. It would have took a day. That's scary. That in a day people can find out where you work, who your parents are, find out where they work, and find people. It basically makes it fast. I don't know. I guess that's intelligent that it's fast, but it's dangerous too. It's too dangerous. It's a good idea if that's what your intentions was. If your intentions was to dox and to make it easier for to get people in trouble and to punish people, then yeah, accomplished. You accomplished. You succeeded. But like I said, people say I have good intentions, but bad things came out of good intentions too. Socialism was a good intention too, but it killed 100 million people. So good intentions don't mean jack.
I mean, it literally is an archive, but it's also a doxing website. Anytime you publish people's personal information, it is doxing.
It's not personal information.
Why not?
Because it was public.
Because it was on Facebook. That's still the definition of doxing. If you share someone else's,
no, it's not.
If you share someone,
no, it's not. You can't change the definition of doxing.
I actually have the definition right here.
Good.
If you share someone else's personal information without their consent, it is doxing. Especially when it comes to
Google doxes everyone.
Especially what?
Okay. This whole legal thing. Legal. This is a Actually, anybody will do this legal thing. See, that's just how you can't sue CNN, because they use legal terms like anonymous or sources or that's not the right definition. No, this is actually the definition. what do you this doctor said, you don't know if this guy's a real doctor. Dr. James. Like what? I don't know this guy. I mean, and CNN always has different people every week, every day. So we don't know who these people are. They could be just actors. Most of the time they are. So sources say, doctors said, the police said, military said, the general said, that is it's all legal terms. If at the end of the interview she's like she regrets it, but she used legal terms to make sure you can't sue her. So she said, no, that's not the right definition. I looked it up on here. It says this. So see, you can't sue me because you're using the wrong definition. That's legal stuff. That definition thing. Anyway, I'm gonna wrap this up. This thing is crazy long. But yeah, she's all over the place. I don't know what she is. She could be a capitalist. And she could be a liberal. She could be an SJW, or she could just be some conservative SJW. I mean, there's a couple of them out there. Really religious. They get real personal. They think they're sent from God or something. Yeah, it's like you're like, whoa, calm down. You can tell they're Mormon types almost. They don't live in our reality. They don't know anything about our culture. So yeah. All right. Let's see. I probably can keep going though. Even though this thing is long.
No, I'll finish. Especially when it comes to kids. I mean, she's definitely playing the whole wanting to protect kids thing, which I think honestly, your heart could have very well been in the right place. But the reality is, when you aggregate information of children and you attach it to where they go to school, which was the intent of your website. In fact, you actually said that it was the best time to be on the website if you were a child that teaches you.
Can you slow? I literally can't follow.
You said that it was the best time to be on your website when you're a child because it teaches them responsibility of what they say online, right?
We said that in a video.
You said that
not
in a video.
A single child was on there.
I'm not saying there was.
Said,
I didn't say there was.
Yeah, because we didn't want to shut off. Like if people asked questions, we didn't want to shut off the possibility of having children if we found out this worked and this was harmless and no harm, no foul. We didn't want to come out and say we're never going to put a minor on here because again, the whole reason I thought of the idea was because of what happened to me when I was a minor.
Well, it's actually illegal to even put the child's information on there.
There was no children. So this is like a fantasy conversation.
It's not a fantasy conversation. It was your intent. So that's what you don't really understand. You think that because the website didn't actually come to fruition that people still don't have a right to criticize.
That's exactly what I think.
That's exactly what you think. But regardless, right. You made it very clear that your intent was to put that information on your website. It actually violates the Children's Internet Protection Act. So it was illegal, so that's why your Kickstarter was actually.
All right, wait, hold on. So let's pause for a second.
There were no children on it. You're talking
I'm not saying that there was. I'm saying you had the intent.
This is a wild imagination you had. So you're saying that if this was your intent, just so we're clear, we're here because if this was your intent and if it had happened, even though it didn't, right?
Candace,
that's why we're pissed and that's why we're trying to ruin everything that you are because we have decided that we're policing what could have, would have, and should have happened. Is that correct?
How have I tried to ruin
it? We're dealing in could have, would have, should have.
It
didn't happen. You're admitting it didn't happen. You're talking about acts.
Are you going to let me finish?
She's literally bringing up laws right now that she would have been violated even though it wasn't violated, even though it wasn't created because your intent is what we were criticizing. I intend to drive drunk. I don't drive drunk.
Can you let me respond?
It just makes no sense. You're not making sense.
Because
did I do it, yes or no?
Maybe if I could finish a sentence, you'd understand that I am making sense. But if I can't actually reveal my point to you, how are you going to?
It's not a dox. We need to stick with the definition of dox, because that is where it's
I want to clear up the definition.
Okay, I get it. Like I said, she thinks dox means you personally did this. Like, I did this. I got your information and I put it on the internet. That's what she thinks dox means. Like, that I did it. She doesn't think that the website is dox because she's not doing the dox. The website is, see, that's another legal term. Nah, you can't fault me for this because I didn't do anything. The website did it. Or other people are gonna do the docs, not me. So she's talking in legal terms. She might have been a lawyer. I don't even know. But she understands legal terms though. That's why you can't. It's hard to argue with CNN news people because they argue in legal terms. You pull out like a fact. They be like, you pull out a fact on them and like, well, we didn't really say that. Sources said that. We didn't really say that. The doctor said that. So most of the time with Fox too, you know, a lot of the Fox commentators don't really have hardcore conservative views. They usually bring on people with hardcore conservative views. So if something comes out that something if they get into trouble, they say no, that person said that, the doctor said that, the professor said that. We didn't say that. We don't condone any of that. You know, these views are not ours. So she's just using legal terms. You know, I didn't dox anybody personally. The website did it. Somebody else is gonna do it. So I'm not in fault what people do with the information because, well, that's what he said about Napster. That, you know, Napster made it easy for you to find MP3s. You say, well, Napster could have said, well, we're not putting the MP3s on there, other people are. So, but you made it easy for them to get the stuff. But see, they still had to shut them down because they made it easy. You felicitated, I don't know. You made it easy to people to get the stuff. So you're still at fault, even though you're not putting the stuff on there. So it's the same thing with her. She's smart though. In the courtroom, she could say that. She probably still get sued though, because she's making it easy for people to do it. But yeah, but then like I said, you can't sue her for that. You can only sue the website, meaning whoever owns the website, whoever made the website, whoever put money into the website. So no, but she is the maker of this website. So yeah, you can sue her because the website the website and property is part of her. So yeah, you can sue her. So she didn't really think all this through. You can get sued if the website is part of you. It's part of your property. It's part of you. You personally own this thing. So you can get sued if some kid gets doxxed or something, or finds out it's the grandson of Trump or something, you know, and then somebody doxes them, and then something happens to the kid, you know, he gets harmed or whatever. You could say, well, I didn't dox anyone. The website did it. The boogeyman did it. So the problem is, yeah, she's using legal terms. You're making it easier for people to dox. That's the problem. You know, who cares about, like, you didn't do it, you personally didn't do it. You know, when companies do that all the time, they say, well, I didn't do it, you know, they did it. Or, you know, the doctor did it, the professor, sources did it. And they're anonymous. They're anonymous people did it. I didn't do anything. Yeah, I'm wrapping this up. The video's crazy long. Let's see. Blair did okay. She got personal too, but it's kind of hard not to get personal. I mean, somebody attacks you, you're gonna have to defend yourself. Not much you can do. You're gonna have to defend yourself. But because Candace she's in that community of the conspiracy theorists, so she could pretty much say anything. And the problem, like I said, is the conservatives are desperate for black women, or even black people, or just somebody different, that they probably wouldn't care everything she said right here. And she was like, well, at least she's a capitalist, and they'll be done. They'll be like, okay, that's good enough for me. She's a capitalist. She had a company and everything. She's doing pretty well for herself. She's really smart. We still kind of need her.